Black Devils. Study Book 14, Supreme Mathematics Class N, for the students of the Holy Tabernacle. Written and authored by Dr. Z. Malachi York. Are there black devils? Introduction. It is very important to me at this time in my life that I address a very touchy subject in the black community. That is the Nubian black community, be they black Israelites who call the so-called white people Edomites, and the devil or black Muslims and 5%ers who call the so-called white people Yakub's grafted devil, and even the Ansaru Allah community who refers to pale people as Canaanites and Amorites or the evil race. I feel that we try to overlook certain realities, one being that black Nubians, Asiatic black men, Moorish Americans, Moabites, Hebrew Israelites, Egyptologists, or whatever tide you use today, have to admit that in our midst there are black devils, not Afro-Americans who do devilishment, nor Muslims who defected. I'm talking about black devils who set out to do devilish things. They aid the wicked world in its evil against their own, and they even try to justify it. They work themselves up into high positions in the government and in the academic community. They become doctors, lawyers, professors, politicians, social workers, judges, imams, morticians, nurses, teachers, ministers, pastors, rabbis, sheiks, welfare workers, IRS workers, policemen, music business. In the movie business, they get the job in the customs office at airports. They set out to make people miserable and to take your life uncomfortable. They are not white. They are not pink. They are not red. They are not pale. They don't have blue eyes. They don't have gray eyes. They don't have blonde hair, and they don't have red or auburn hair. It's not about straight hair. I'm talking about blacks or browns, olive-toned, woolly-haired, or nappy-haired, or curly-haired devils. And being a black devil has nothing to do with light eyes, so don't fool yourself. I'm talking about Nubian people who are devils, like the black Elohim, angelic beings, with blue eyes you've heard about in Islamic folklore, named Nankur, the 139th of the 200 fallen angels, and Menkur, the 123rd of the 200 fallen angels. I'm talking about the brother or sister whose skin is dark brown, light brown or beige with kinky, kingly, curly or wavy hair, who are people of the sun, color, like you and me. This scroll will deal with just the fact, maybe when you read Sons of Canaan, revised scroll number 145, or the Dog scroll number 143, you will have another outlook on what it means by the devil. Question: can Nubian, black people be really devils? Answer: the answer is yes. For too many years, Nubians have been discussing how the Caucasian albino race is the only devil or the evil one, and hiding the fact that there are all black devils also. I do not mean a black devil by conversion, or someone who started listening to a disagreeable being and became a devil by doing devilish things like selling drugs, robbing, raping, and killing. That is a special kind of devil that is converted into devilishment. I'm not talking about him. Question: what is a black devil? Answer: you probably wondered how you would be able to spot them or who around you is one. It may not be easy because they look just like you and I, but what might make it easy to detect one is their attitude. They are negative, or should I say disagreeable beings. Most of the time they are uncooperative. They'll laugh at your jokes louder than anyone else, but they won't tell any joke. The reason they don't tell jokes is because their mission is not to initiate joy. You can also predict their actions because they over-enunciate negative things, like when it's cold, they'll say it's freezing, and they'll bundle up extra warm. Or when they're hungry, they'll say I'm starving. Everything, especially negative things, are over-exaggerated. They never have anything nice or positive to say about anyone or anything other than themselves. They will overindulge and totally absorb themselves in negative conversation or actions. But when it is a positive conversation, they have a very little or nothing to say at all. Take for instance, if you were to say, "Wow, that is a beautiful dress you're wearing," the negative person leans over and says, "Yeah, but those shoes don't match and she should do something with her hair." Instead of letting the person have a compliment and praise, they have to add that negative thought. Another characteristic they have is that they'll never tell you about their past life. They'll have you spill your guts about your life and encourage you to say more, but you won't hear about them. And they never have anything good to say about anyone. Now, you will say that pertains to a lot of people, but think about the person who has more than just one disagreeable characteristic and is very negative and always initiates negativity. And when someone is doing the right thing, they always have another way to do it. They always think everybody is using them or trying to justify getting theirs any way they can. For instance, in HTM, if you read the first little pamphlet called The Holy Tabernacle Family Guide, it gives you guidelines of what to do and what not to do. Everybody wants to be a tabernacle, but they don't want to live by the laws of a tabernacle and how they are fishers of men, and that they are out to propagate right knowledge by distributing literature and products created by HTM. There's a dress code, etc. We have a plan on how we will do all things, but they must do something on the side. They cannot help it. Then you have those people who do their development in the community, and it reflects back on the organization, who don't know anything about what these underhanded, sneaky, conniving, manipulative demons are doing. That is why I want to make it clear right here that these devils are not the proper representation of the Holy Tabernacle Ministries. Read the Holy Tabernacle Family Guide. These devils pretend as if they are loyal and sincere. However, they have their own agenda and motives, using the Holy Tabernacle to sell illegal products not manufactured and distributed by HTM. And it was for this reason in each of our own bulletins we put an article about these wolves in sheep clothing. In Bulletin 9, The Making of Disciples, page 10, it reads as follows. The purpose of this article is to inform you to be aware of those wolves in sheep's clothing who will take advantage of the innocent. Our new publication of scrolls, pamphlets, will have to be a free will offering printed on the back. Once our products were distributed to other tabernacles as a standard free will offering was set, the peddlers charged whatever he wished, even though that they were told what it should be given for. To eliminate confusion and people being overcharged and taken advantage of, from henceforth you will see the free will offering boldly printed on the back of each publication. Also be aware that copies or photostats, we don't distribute them. Free will offering is found in L scriptures in the scrolls of Wayikra, Leviticus chapter 22, verse 18. You will see that they use the same tricks in the Kosh or the devil did in the garden. Read to chapter 5 of the Holy Tablets in chapter 8, the seed of Nakas in chapter 10, disagreeably. And you will see just how the devil thinks in his very nature. They use our pure doctrine to get people to listen to them. Once these devils have these innocent people in their clutches, they start their underhandedness, not realizing that they are losing that person's soul and have turned them away from the tabernacle of the Most High. Then there are those that come into the tabernacle of the Most High knowing that they have problems and detrimental attachments that will shed a negative light on the community. However, they don't care because they are only concerned with themselves instead of the well-being of everyone, especially the children. When you spot them, don't run. Don't run up to them and say, "You're a black devil." Just know who they are and stay away from them. Because if you hang around people who are black devils, you will eventually develop that negative characteristic, and then you may become possessed. They will change your true loyal faith into schemes and plots for self. Question: so what about all the images, such as the devil in a red suit and the people who are the symbols? Answer: I would like to inform the children of Nuabu that the devil that everyone has stamped in their heads wearing a red suit and holding a pitchfork in his hand is a myth. They are all props to make your mind off who and what really is the devil. They want you to believe that the person walking around with pentagrams, walking around in costumes, drinking blood and different rituals, the likes is the devil. It is a person that you least expect. It could be the clean-cut businessman or the sophisticated businesswoman. It could be your teacher or anybody that is in a respectable position. So don't be fooled by this image of the devil wearing a red suit and holding a pitchfork in his hand. The devil is in human form. Question: how is it possible for a person to become possessed? Answer: you may think that the only way the evil one can enter you is through the opening at the top of your head or through your nose, and that is not so. Have you ever heard of walk-in? Well, that actually happens. the disagreeable Elohim are made up of negative gases, which is called fog. And because your physical being is porous or is made up of pores, the fog can go right through you and then you become possessed. Read what is Nuwabu, scroll number 42. Question: when walk-ins possess your body, can they make you do things against your will? Answer: yes. Many times after people have committed crimes, they say they don't remember what happened. Some force just took over my mind. Well, in some cases, this is true. They plant thoughts in your head to make you hurt other people. And just as easily as they walk in, they walk right back out. As there you are, sitting there in the jail cell, wondering why. You can be in an argument with someone and walk away from it. These walk-ins will place you in that thought in your head of revenge. They don't tell you to go and talk it out over with the person. Instead, they tell you that you have to go get that person back for what they have done to you. Question: can you further explain the nature of the devil? Answer: in order to understand who and what black devils are and their nature, you must first understand the titles that they attributed to them, like Iblis, which means rebellious, and Satan, meaning liar in wait. Also devil, meaning false accuser. Question: what do you mean by this? Answer: for example, Iblis is a title. Anybody can be an Iblis. Anyone who rebels can have this title. You can be Iblis if all I ask you to do a thing a certain way and you all do it. But you or your mates have your own way. Guess what you have become? What is happening is you are making Iblis the devil's name. Iblis is just a title meaning rebellious. You can be Iblis. Tartanush, the leader of the disagreeable Elohim, angelic beings, and his son were both called Iblis, and they were both called Satan. Iblis's mother, Mylita, was an Anunnaki, Elohim, and his father, Tartanush, was the malevolent reptilian species. So Satan, Iblis, and the devil can all be the same person if their actions are that of Satan, Iblis, or the devil, because these are all titles attributed to their action. Let me explain a little further. You have three groups of people. You have the people of Ammon, or Ptah, in Mizraim, Egypt. Along the Nile, they were called Mu'min, or the faithful. You have the people under Zodok, or Sadiq, or Salam, in Mu. They were called Muslim, ones of peace. And you had the people from the fallen Elohim who were jinns, and they were called Kafirs, concealers of the truth. You have Kafirun, Muslimun, and Mu'minun, who were all living on the planet Earth at the same time. And that's where these titles are really coming from. So whenever you want to insult someone, you would say you are concealers of the facts, Kafirun. You are a kafir, meaning you are from the disagreeable beings, the concealers of the facts. Or to compliment you, someone would say you are a mu'min, meaning you are a faithful person. And if they want to ascribe to your ordinance to obey, they call you a Muslim. Don't get titles confused with species. Titles are names which a particular thing is identified, known, or referred to. And species are distinct kinds of types that have permanent characteristics in common. To take, for instance, Anakites. They were a species of giants, and they were tribes of them. First there was Tartanush and his 5 sons, who each yielded a different species. Ifrits, the Ghouls, Jan, Jania, and Marid. These quite a few of them. They all can come from to this planet, and 1/3 of the planet Earth is made up of this negative energy. Question: who are the Anakites? Answer: the Anakites were a tribe of disagreeable giants who were the descendants of Anak, who was the wife of Halal, son of Shakar and Mylita. The word Anakite means long-necked evil ones. These Anakites came about by the rape of the Tahite women. The Nephilim were the first race of disagreeable beings to come down to the planet Earth, and who gave birth to the race of disagreeable Elohim known as Watusi. The Nephilim were the ancestors of the Anakite race. They were noticed during Moses' time when he sent 12 spies to report of the land of Nod, or Hebron. It was there on this land that they came in contact with the Anakite.